Thank you.
Thank you.
Love y'all. My title was about the universe. And let's start out with thinking about the universe is way out there with the stars, the space in between, just everything that goes on, the planets and what have you. And we take them in, we see them with our eyes. We have feelings that we take into our being. We have our five senses that we use to look out there, to feel out there, to see out there, to be out there. And this is the big universe. But if you noticed, I said we take it in. We take each and every one of these things from out of ourselves into ourselves through the five senses that we enjoy. And as children, when we are born, we don't have memories of these things, but we come in contact with hundreds of different things that stimulate us, and as we do that, we take them in and we make agreements with ourselves that this is true and that's true and another thing is true, that this is so and that's so and another thing. And we call those either agreements or we can call them filters. And as we grow and know more and more and more and come in contact with more and more things, we run the new information that we get each time through all of these filters and decide what's going on. And that's why I spelled the universe with Y-O-U-verse, because we find out, or we think we find out what's going on by running all of the things that we look out there and see, what people say to us, what we see happening and being done. It all runs through and we decide what's going on. And we do this instantaneously. This is what I should think about this, and this is what I should think about that. And we do all of those things very, very instantaneously. One of the pieces of literature that I have recently come in contact with indicated that we have in our subconscious mind about 15,000 things that we run all of the information that comes to us through, but we only have about 15 things that our conscious mind is aware of at any one time. And but we run these things, and this is what this is, and this is what that is, and this is what something else is. And this becomes our universe. It becomes, we know the universe out there. We know the universe of the person that's sitting beside us by the perception that we have based on all of these things, all these filters that we have to run our things through. And in doing that, we are really guided by all of those things, but there's something that somebody else said, well, this is the way things are. Our parents said that this is the way things are, this way, and our friend said this, and our acquaintance said that. And so you have all of those biases built into our personal universe. And I think it's well that we understand how this works, because there's only one thing that's without bias, and that's our Creator's thoughts, and that's what we call inspiration. And when we are inspired, we don't have those filters changing the things from our Creator's reality to our reality. We only have that which is the Creator's reality. And gotta look at my note. So just it's basically we live on our belief system. And now when we come into a situation, and maybe it's a person that we have known for a long, long time, maybe it's somebody new, but when we come in contact with them, and based on all of these filters that we have, we'll come up and say, well, that person is a little bit nutty, or that person is a real genius, or this person knows a lot about agriculture, or this person knows a lot about mathematics, or whatever have you. And as we think those things, our mind emanates that thought and actually broadcasts that thought outward. And of course that thought is, if it's projected to a particular individual, believe it or not, and this is a little bit difficult to put your mind with and put your hands around, but it's all unconscious, but that person will respond to your expectations. And when they respond to your expectations, that can create a good or bad situation, depending on what the thought is and what it's all about. An example of this is given in one of the books that I've read about shamanism over in Hawaii. And some of you may be aware of this and some not, but this doctor who was a psychologist, he was given a job in 1982, I believe it was, of being director of basically an insane asylum over there. And he took the job. The people that were there were the most incorrigible, had created or committed the most horrid crimes that you can possibly imagine. And he took over this job as director of this place. Now the people that was his attendees there had to walk with their backs to the wall because they were being attacked every day and what have you. There was incidents of attacking different patients, interacting. Many of them were restrained and what have you, almost continuously. 4 years later, they were all had been released or assigned to some other facilities because their violence had diminished to a point where they could, some of them even re-enter society. And they'd say, well, how did this happen? And when they asked this Dr. Lynn, what did you do? He said, well, all I did was I looked at their dossiers, their medical records, and what I saw in there, because I project my thoughts out to them, I'm responsible for that. And so I ask for forgiveness for myself for that thought as I analyzed what they did, and ask that I be forgiven for thinking that that's what went on. And by clearing that out, having that erased from my mind, they no longer were influenced by my thought. And because of that, they changed their behavior. And that's the main thing that I want to get across to you. And that is that when you think something about someone else, how you view them makes a difference in how they act and what they do, how they respond, how they live their life. That's the only influence you have, and it's all subconscious. When you do that, try to keep in mind that you are influencing what you see back. And they are responding and acting in such a way that it's the only control that we have over anybody else. Absolutely. And the only control that we have over that other person is how we view them. So view them with love. View them with respect. View them with compassion. And you'll find not only their world will be better, but your world will be better. Thank you.